to Canucks Last Week, where I try to cover everything Canucks hockey in 3 minutes or less. And with last night's loss to the St. Louis Blues, I have some calculations I need to do. So let's see here. The Canucks have 67 points with 9 games remaining, and the Nashville Predators have 85 points in the final wildcard spot. So if the Canucks were to win the next 9 games in a row, that would give them 18 more points, and you add that to their 67, that would equal... Willie for the Jack Adams? That can't be right. Oh, I forgot to add in Jason Magnus Corsi. So, taking into account Jason Magnus Corsi and you carry the 1... Can you even read that? No playoffs. The Canucks are officially eliminated from the playoffs. It feels so good to say if you're on Team Tank. And so with the Canucks finally out of playoff contention, let's talk about what would make me happy as a Canucks fan to see in the final 9 games of the season. Now, as far as game outcomes go, obviously I would love to say that if the Canucks could lose the next 9 games in a row, that would be great for the tank, but that would also just be very painful to see. So if the Canucks could beat Anaheim just to stick it to Ryan Kesler one more time, and maybe their last home game of the season, I'll live with that. I'll be pretty happy with that. I'm more really concerned about individual production towards the end of the season, especially for the young guys. First off, let's talk about the GOAT, the future captain of your Vancouver Canucks, and the man with amazing head shape, Bo Horvat. He's already having a career year with 20 goals and 27 assists, good for 47 points. And with 9 games left, it's pretty reasonable to say that he'll hit 50 points for the first of many times in his career. He's also now starting to draw opposing teams' shutdown lines, as they're recognizing that the Horvat line is the one to shut down if you want to beat the Canucks. And hopefully these 9 games will be about Bo learning how to deal with these challenges. It's going to be great for his development. Sven Baertschi's another guy who's having a career year with 33 points, and in 9 games, I doubt he really makes it to 40 points, but if he can get to 37, 38, I'll take it. I also think Sven is crucial for Bo Horvat's development at this point. Sven's probably the 4th most offensively gifted forward on the Canucks behind Bo and the Sedin twins, and I've seen people wanting to trade Sven Baertschi, and I don't know why you would. Sure, he might be a little old when the Canucks are actually good, but someone needs to play with Bo, and it has to be someone who's somewhat offensively talented. On defense, you have Richmond boy Troy Stecher, who has surpassed all of my expectations this season. The kid is 23 points in 63 games, and if he can get to 25 points, I'll be very happy with that. The guy is still learning how to play a pro game, and he had a bit of a slump in the mid-stretch of the season, but if he can play a solid 9 games to round out the season, I will be very happy. The last guy I want to talk about is Ben Hutton, who's had a bit of a sophomore slump and has been a bit overshadowed by Troy Stecher's rookie season, but I think he'll be a solid number 4 or 5 guy on a Stanley Cup playoff team. I've seen that Benning is looking to move some of his defensive depth this summer to try and acquire a younger forward, and Ben Hutton's name has been thrown around quite a bit, and to that, I'd say I don't really know how I feel about that, because in my opinion, Ben Hutton could maybe only fetch a middle 6 forward, something like that, and when you have a guy like Ben Hutton who hasn't played 200 games yet in the NHL, and to me, 200 games is really when you can assess how good a defenseman can be at this level, I wouldn't give up on that just quite yet. I would look to move maybe Chris Tanev or something like that, and you'd get a lot more return. It would just help out a lot more for the future, and for right now, you get a lot better player of return when you trade Chris Tanev instead of, say, a Ben Hutton, so that's what I would do. But anyways, that's going to do it for me for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. It really helps me out. And if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week.